Hello everyone. Welcome to the orientation video for Personal Finance Section 240. I am Professor Reeves. Let's take a look first at the Personal Finance Blackboard site. So make sure that each day you log into the Blackboard site to find important information about the course. First, under the announcements tab, all correspondence from me will be sent to your school issued email account. So be sure that you activate your school issued email address. Okay? Then click where it says Start Here. Under the Start Here menu, there's an overview about the course as well as an introduction blog. The introduction blog is all about you, the student. Take the time to answer these questions about yourself. The good thing is you will earn 2 bonus points for completing the introduction blog. This assignment allows the instructor to learn more about the students and for the student to learn more about their peers as well. So the introduction blog must be completed no later than 11 p.m. on Monday, the 27th of January. There's some other policy information under the Start Here menu on Blackboard as well. Then under the My Instructor tab, there's information about me, your instructor. It has my contact data, my office number and cell phone number, email address, office location, as well as my office hours. Then I give you a brief introduction into my background from an educational standpoint, my background in the accounting area in the field of business, so you'll know more about the person that's teaching the actual course. Okay? Then you have the syllabus and the schedule. I'll come back to the syllabus, but here you have your schedule. The schedule is showing which chapter you're going to cover during each week of the spring semester. It also highlights your midterm exam week, your final exam week. You also have a course project that I'll talk more about a later portion of the course. But again, this allows you to see exactly which chapters we're going to cover during each week of the spring 2020 semester. On the syllabus, please review the syllabus thoroughly. It has information about the course itself, about your instructor, description of the course, the learning outcomes, and then there's information about the required course material. The required textbook is Personal Finance plus My Finance Lab by Jeff Medora, the 6th edition. So for this course, you're required to have an access code for My Finance Lab. Now, if you buy the book from the Florissant Valley bookstore, the textbook comes with an access code for My Finance Lab. If you decide to buy the book from a different source, which it could be cheaper, you will still be required to purchase an access code for this course. Because as you'll see, all of our homework assignments, the quiz exams will be administered using the My Finance Lab software. Okay? And we'll discuss that a little bit more in detail. But review all the information on the syllabus, course procedures, grading policy, attendance policy, withdrawal policy, etc. Be sure to review all of the information presented here on the actual course syllabus. Back to Blackboard. Lecture notes. You're going to have a video lecture for each chapter. There will also be a PowerPoint presentation for each chapter as well. So be sure to review these video lectures, these PowerPoints, to get a better understanding of the information that's being covered in each of these actual chapters. Okay? Now for My Finance Lab, you're going to be sent a copy of this form that will allow you to register for My Finance Lab. So once you click on the registration form, it will allow you to register for My Finance Lab. It'll take you to the actual site. And again, there's different options. If you have an access code, you'll put in your access code to register for My Finance Lab. If you don't have an access code, you are allowed to use My Finance Lab for a 14-day grace period free of charge. At the end of the grace period, you're required to either put in your access code or to purchase an access code. But everyone will be able to use My Finance Lab free of charge for the first 2 weeks or for a 14-day grace period. Now, once you're actually registered for My Finance Lab, each chapter there's homework, quizzes. There's also going to be a quiz that will say Chapter 1-A or say Chapter 2-A. The quizzes that have the A behind them are practice quizzes. Those quizzes are not going to be graded. Again, the quizzes that say have an A behind them, those are practice quizzes. They're not going to be graded. The real quiz, yes, you'll see, will have a start date and a due date, and they're also going to be timed. The practice quizzes are not timed, and they also do not have a due date. So I recommend you do the practice quiz first before taking the real quiz, but be sure that for each chapter, you do the actual homework and quiz. The quiz with the A behind them are practice quizzes. Those are not the actual quiz that we're going to grade. Okay? So once you're on the My Finance Lab site, you can click to see the different resources that are available for each chapter. You can click, there's a ebook. There are different type of chapter resources. There's a financial calculator when we get to that chapter. So just review to see the different resources available under the My Finance Lab for students to utilize. All right, back to the Blackboard site. There's a review information tab. Excuse me. There's a review sheet for your midterm exam and for your final exam. We'll talk more about it a little bit later, but you can review the information out there. It tells you which chapters we're going to cover for each of those exams. It tells you when those exams will become available. It tells you their completion due date. So make sure you review the information under the review information tab sheet for the exams. And I will send out additional correspondence as we are approaching those actual due dates. There's a course project. There's a video that tells you more about the course project, but read the information about the course project. Again, this is a little out down the road, but it's never too soon to get started. There's a PDF file with information about the project. Then you have an Excel file to do the actual work. It tells you the actual due date for it. But again, you'll hear more from me about the course project as that date actually approaches. Okay, so the main thing for now is to make sure that you review the different tabs on the Blackboard site, that you get your textbook along with your access code for My Finance Lab, that you review the actual syllabus to make sure you understand what you have to do for each week. I will send out announcements letting you know exactly which assignments are due, when they're going to be due, etc. This is a very fun course, Personal Finance. This information is not just for class, but it's applicable in your life. We're going to cover things such as preparing personal financial statements, balance sheets, how to choose auto insurance, homeowners insurance, the cost of a home, budgeting. We're going to cover stocks and bonds. As a matter of fact, we're going to play this stock market game that would allow you to purchase shares of stock and to see how much of a return you can make on your investment. It's a very competitive game. You'll hear more about that game on next week. So if you have any questions about the course, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Again, you can find my information under the instructors tab. And let's get ready for an exciting semester of finance.